down. With the news that the energy price cap is set to rise again in January, Martin Lewis is here to help. Good morning, Martin. What exactly does that mean for people?
So, 80% of homes in England, Scotland and Wales are on a price-capped tariff. So that basically, if you're on your energy firm's standard tariff, which you will be if you haven't done anything in a couple of years, or you came off a fix, or you didn't do anything, or you've never switched, then effectively the price you pay is dictated by the price cap. And if you're not sure, you almost certainly are on the price cap. It's only those people who are on fixes or special tariffs who aren't on price cap tariffs. So what we have in most cases is the regulator setting the price you pay. Now, it already went up 10% on the 1st of October. We now have the announcement that it's going to go up again by 1.2% on the 1st of January, which means for every £100 you're paying now, you're going to pay on average £101.20p from the 1st of January for your energy usage. So it's gone up and then it's gone up again.
Unfair is the only word that springs to mind, Martin, that they can put the price up when they want and by how much they want.
Well, let's just be plain. It is the regulator putting the price up. So what we had is we used to have a much more competitive energy market where there are lots of deals, and they brought in this price cap that was meant to be a backstop for the people who never switched to make sure they weren't paying over the odds. Unfortunately, the market has now got into this terrible position where that backstop is the price most people are paying. The regulator puts it up on the back of wholesale energy prices. And if you think January's bad, well, the current predictions are, and it's early stages, but the current prediction are it's going to go up again in April because the price cap moves every 3 months. So we're going up 1% in January. Yeah. Probably going up 2.5% in April. Then the prediction for July is it'll come back a little bit, and then October stay around the same. Now, if you sum all of that up over the next year, what that says is over the next year, on average, you will be paying more for your energy bills than you are now if you are on the price cap, which is why it is a no-brainer to fix right now. Fixing is where you switch to a tariff where the rate is guaranteed for a year. I mean, it still depends on what you use. You use more, you'll pay more. The cheapest fixes on the market right now are around 6.5% cheaper than the current price cap. So that's around 7.5% cheaper than the January price cap. And you'll get peace of mind that your price won't go up. So you can switch, start saving straight away. And if the predictions are right, then you will continue to save all across the next year, and you will be able to guarantee that your prices aren't going up. So I would very strongly suggest there are some more sophisticated options for people who know what they're doing. Time of use tariffs, the octopus type, the tomato type. But for most people, get yourself on a whole of market by default comparison site. What that means is a comparison site that doesn't hide tariffs that don't pay it. And go onto that, put your details in and find your cheapest fix. The reason I'm not listing the cheapest fixes is because who's cheapest for you depends on where you live, because prices are regional, and how you pay and what you use. So it depends on those 3 different factors, which is why you would use a comparison site to find out.
OK, well, this leads on, actually, exactly from there. This is from Karen. She says, I'm currently on the Next Pledge tracker tariff. Should I switch to a fixed tariff due to the increase in energy costs in January?
Well, it's sort of what I've been talking about with a little nuance. The E.ON Next Pledge is a tariff I was recommending about a year ago because it's 3% cheaper than the price cap. So basically, when the price cap goes up or down, it goes up or down the same, but it's always 3% cheaper on average. So if we contrast what you're paying, which is 3% less than the price cap, to the cheapest fixes, those fixes are currently around 3% cheaper than you are paying on average. I don't know your usage or your region. And will continue, if the predictions are right, to stay cheaper over the next year. You won't save as much because you're already on a discounted tariff, but by fixing the likelihood, and I don't have a crystal ball, and the further out you go with predictions, the more it is a crystal ball, the likelihood is you would be better off at this point. You've done well with that tariff. You'd be better off moving to a cheap fixed deal. Of course, when I'm talking about fixing, I don't mean get any fix. You don't want to lock in at a high price. You want to lock in at the cheapest price you possibly can.
OK.
Thank you.
Thank you. Christine says, I'm struggling to make my energy payments. Do I switch to a fixed rate with British Gas or not? I currently pay £130 per month direct debit, and I'm currently £123 in debt. I'm also receiving a warm home payment of £150 from them in March. This is a lot of money for me. What should I do?
Well, I'm not quite sure why you're asking that you want to stay with British Gas. I don't know if there's any more detail on that at all. Because
not really, no.
You could stay with British. Well, let me suppose that the reason you're doing it is because of loyalty. You like the company you're with. You don't want the hassle of moving firm. Actually, British Gas, I think it launched this morning. It's version 11 fixed 15-month tariff from the top of my head, is one of the 3 cheapest on the market. So if you are a British Gas existing customer and you want to stick with British Gas, you can stay with British Gas and still cut your bill substantially and get a fix. I'm slightly nervous about saying that as a general rule, that people should stick with their existing firm's fix, because not all firms are offering cheap fixes at the moment. And it's important to say, 1 week they'll have a cheap fix, 1 week they won't have a cheap fix, which is why you'd use a comparison site. So if you're happy to move across the market, I would do a comparison. If you want to stick with British Gas, for off the top of my head, on average, it's version 11, 15 months fix at the moment is a cheap deal. So you could fix with British Gas, stay exactly where you are, not really notice much difference, except you'd start paying less and you'd get a guarantee that your price won't rise over the next 15 months.
OK, well, thank you very much, Martin. We are out of time, but your show is on live tonight.
Or just to say...
Go on.
It is, yes. I was going to mention my show's on tonight. Really important if you're an ill or disabled pensioner. 1 million of you are missing out on up to £4,000 a year. I'll be talking about savings for your first property, license and help time ISAs, how you can put the money aside. Young people must listen to that. How you can get an Apple Watch for a tenner with a trick via private medical insurance policy. And we'll be looking in more detail at the energy stuff. 8 o'clock tonight on ITV. Forgive me, I need to get me plug in.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I've got 9, actually.
PM?
Yeah, 9 or 8, Martin?
8
o'clock at ITV.
Yeah.
OK, you got it.
And by the way, Jeanette's moonlighting with us, just in case she didn't tell you, I'm grassing her up, OK?
What?
Yeah.
Yes, she
I'll be
is on the
speaking to you
show.
later, JK. Even you can't run fast enough to get away from me.
Love it.
Martin, thank you. See you later on.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.